Good morning, freedom fighters. It is 4:56 a.m. Alaska time, May 17th, 2024. Sorry I did not get back to y'all yesterday even, but I took a nap that turned into sleep. I did not wake up till this morning. Highly depressed over everything. Missing my girl the most though. I realize if I think of her, I just start crying, but I tried not to. But there's more important things, the evils that is going on in my situation, and we're all going through it. Many of us is losing loved ones. But here is what I call the lighting of the storm. Zero weather here over the border. You can already see the streaks from the laser technology that I'm going to put the scientists on explaining. Very distinct ripples. It goes all the way across here, actually, but I want you to watch how it lights the storm. There's the storm being formed right there. They did that. Once they light it off, I don't think they need the lasers that much. It's like lighting a fire. Once it starts, it goes. But that's the lighting of the storm right there, right over the border of Texas. The lighting of the storm. I don't know what else to call it. Trillion-watt lasers, but let's let the scientists explain it to you, not some fisherman that people claim don't understand the weather, but the weather is my life. If I don't understand the weather, it could kill me. And these people are lunatics creating weather that I've never seen before. But stand by, let's watch some of the lunatics themselves. This is a really good video. People have done a great job putting all the information together, but I have a link to their videos in my comments section, along with lots of other evidence of our proof of weather control.
Never forget, this bill in 2001 referred to chemtrails as an exotic weapon. Again, this is H.A.A.R. stands for House of Representatives, H.A.A.R. 2977, okay? And this is about a bill to stop and restrict weapons in space. Scroll down, you will soon see exotic weapon systems such as electronic, psychotronic, and information weapons. 2. Chemtrails. 3. High altitude, ultra low frequency weapons, which is actually basically 5G like weapons, EMF weapons, more like 3G, 2G. Boom, laser weapons.
Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning. Go ahead.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong.
Boom, laser weapons, strategic, theater, tactical, or extraterrestrial weapons, and chemical, biological, and environment and climate or tectonic weapons, which they have all of. This means they can make earthquakes, they can make hurricanes. This bill never passed. This was a House of Representatives trying to get the word out about this stuff. It's right here, plain to see. Look up these terms, look up these keywords, look up this bill, H.A.A.R. 2977. This is real, people.
Very interesting, correct? You're looking at this technology. I really love how the news actor is telling the actor scientists that it's experimental, correct? Yes, it works in laboratories. Well, I want you to understand that our atmosphere is their laboratory. Where are you going to test this? They're testing it in our atmosphere. They have been for a very long time. People don't realize that these laser technologies are in space, but my family worked on projects in the 90s, 1990s. They put up these first projects. Let me show you some proof. I'm not real sure the date. It looks like April 4th, 83, but it might be 93. But this is a long time ago. This magazine is. What do you think they're talking about here? This looks like lasers to me. Stand by. My family helped put this technology up. That's why I know about it. People are like, oh, it don't exist. No, my family worked on that project for years. We're building computer components. I show you ripples all the time in the sky, and this should give you a little bit of what it is. It's radar signals, it's ripples, it's frequencies. I don't know what else to call it. It's microwave energy, is what it truly is. But that still works off frequencies. Your own body has a frequency. Everything around us has frequencies, and we can work, and they can be manipulated as well. Stand by. Showing this equipment's what got me removed from Facebook. I call it the Hurricane Maker, and they completely removed me from Facebook. They're just hauling it here, but it's self-propelled. It can very much propel itself. It does not need tugs. Very dangerous equipment they've created to make our atmosphere spin. Our planet is electromagnet. You can mess with that energy. You got a big enough tool. Nightmares I know about. The last 2 hours over the state of Washington and Oregon. Massive frequency waves this morning that I was going to film last night. They are still there, pushing this material wherever they want. Has nothing to do with gravity. It goes in whatever direction they want to push this material. Clouds goes through the waves, but the waves most of the time does not move whatsoever. They're constant. I call them tire tracks or fingerprints of the gods, but they remind me of tire tracks. But look how the clouds move through the waves. Not enough daylight to really show it good. But it's been going on for hours on end, this machine. And it just pushes the weather wherever they want it. They want it clear, they can make it clear. They want it to storm. Well, obviously they can make it storm. Some other unusual activity off. Not sure what this one is. Doesn't really seem to be spreading out like a chemtrail. That more lasers seem awful wide for lasers. There at daybreak. 2 hours it stayed there. Maybe it's some kind of chemtrail material. That looks like a spider web. Look at it for the last 2 hours. See what this is doing. It's too bright. The sun's too bright. Unusual storms at daybreak here in Mississippi, Alabama. Look at that. You can see the lasers. Stand by. I'll show them to you. I can see it. Very distinct. Right there. Vaporizes the area. Doubles. Right here is vaporizing this whole system here because of this stuff. It's minute. I told my boss yesterday if we were back in World War II, they would probably have me analyzing maps and stuff. That kind of person. Very unusual line right there. I don't know what it's doing connected to some of this lightning or what. Alright, let me look around. I know some heavy chemtrail areas. Let me show them to you. Only the true warriors are here at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I can just go right over to it. Here's a live. I think we're live. Yep. It is 5:20 a.m. Alaska time. That puts it 9:20 Eastern time. Very heavy chemtrail this moment over North Carolina and South Carolina and the Atlantic Ocean. Let's go back 2 hours. Excuse me. Very distinct heavy chemtrails. These look like canister bursts. They have lots of ways to get this so-called dirt particles in the air. On the heck, dirt, like light up the storms with dirt particles, dust particles. Excuse me, that's what he used, dust. It's nanoparticles, all right. They have put it in the atmosphere, but it's not naturally there. Here's them spraying it. 3 o'clock, 3:20 Alaska time this morning. Heavy spraying, heavy spraying. Take a picture of that. I fish all these waters from North Carolina north. The border north. I have fished every bit of this. Very few spots I haven't covered. Alright, let's move on and see what else they are poisoning our beautiful lands and people. Very unusual waves over Lake Michigan. I haven't put it in motion, I just noticed it. Reminds me of lasers. This guy's bigger and bigger, whatever it is. If it's connected to anything. Yeah, look at that. It is. There's definitely some storms with lightning up here. In a place I don't think they have lightning very much. I've been to North Bay, Ontario many a time. I mean, I'm sure they get electrical storms and stuff, but I don't think it's common. Yes, I have people arguing with me about the earth, about the weather, about the bugs, about the birds that has never been outside more than a few minutes in their entire lives. Got these so-called professors and doctors. They've never been outside before. They haven't had time. You know what it takes to become a doctor and how much studying your nose in a book? How to control the people, I imagine what that book says, but the last 2 hours over all these ripples, I don't know if y'all noticed them. Massive ripples. That's not normal. Just the machine turned on. Alright, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I doubt any young people are allowed to hear my voice, which none of you are actually allowed to. Y'all click on it. They're not showing you this. Somebody shared it to you. Heavy chemtrail operation today over New York State. All the way to New Hampshire, Massachusetts. All this is being sprayed out. I don't know if y'all can see it, but that aluminum stands out very distinct. What a nasty column of air. World War III is here. We gotta quit playing games. Start spreading the word, being serious about this. If it was air traffic, all this would be lined out because the whole entire continent of the United States is covered in airplane frequency waves. Let me show you some more here. Here I went back to yesterday at 12 a.m. That's Alaska time, so it's 4 a.m. Florida time, but it's very much daylight in Spain. But this was an attack on Spain that I wasn't able to show that great, but I wanted to go back a little bit. I think this is just an aerosol attack on these people. I mean, you can really see how it clouded it out really quick. I'm on the archive, so I don't have good. I mean, they put 12 hours in this little line, so it don't give me a lot of time to play with. But that's over Spain and Portugal yesterday morning. And at the same time, a few hours later, actually, but at the same time, they're spraying right there. And at the same time, they are spraying these countries of Spain. Very distinct. Like I said, I'm on the archive, so it doesn't really work as good. But very distinct operations that I'm more worried about being pathogens than weather control. They just completely whited it out and covered the whole country of Italy. God, the webs we weave. The devil is trying to kill the garden and God's children. He's already pushed us away from God. He's purposely done that to us all. I'm glad I seen the light. It took till I was in my 50s, but I'm so glad I came to the truth. Realization of the truth, I guess. I have no way of explaining it, but God saved my life when I asked Him. Never asked Him for anything, but He helped me. Took all the pain away. Took all the pain away from me. I want y'all to realize that, how powerful God truly is. All you gotta do is ask Him. Let's go back to live. Last year when they speak to the real warriors. Last year when they took our income went from $1.15 the year before to 50 cents, which we were okay with, but then it went to 17 cents before the end of the season, which destroyed my livelihood. I didn't really want to be here anymore because I didn't know what else to do, and a friend of mine told me to sleep on it. That in the Bible it told me not to do it. I think that guy, he was only a 17-year-old kid. Smartest thing anybody could say to me. Sleep on it. Ask the Lord to help you. And I did, and He truly gave me help. Don't know how to explain it, but it's real if you let it. Thank you to the warriors that are listening to my words. I'm going to let you go. Very dangerous riffles going on right now. Been having problems with something going on with my ears. I don't know if it's this or what, but my ears hurt for some reason. That's something to do with sound, I believe, or frequencies. Something's weird. Just happened yesterday all of a sudden. Never seen it before, felt it before. Maybe some kind of operation. I have no idea. People talk about it making their ears ring and stuff. I have never really had that problem. Some kind of weird pressure change yesterday was messing with mine. And you can see the ripples in Alaska and Canada. Alaska here. Major ripples. Alright. I'll let y'all go. Sure I'll find more if I keep looking. Yeah. There you go. Just offshore. Still dark out here right this minute, but you can see heavy trailing off of this weather system. There were massive frequency waves off Japan too yesterday when I looked over here. Heavy trailing off here for some reason. 12 hours to show it or not. Yeah, there they are. Let's see. Massive frequency waves over Japan that I haven't really ever noticed before. They definitely spray here too. I've seen pictures from Japan with chemtrails. Alright, as we're watching sunset on Japan, I am going to wish y'all a good day, a good evening, a good night, and a good morning. We're all on different timelines because the Earth is not flat. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible to be different than the rest of the worlds that we see from my telescope. Commercial Fisherman out. Y'all have a good night, good morning, and good evening. Like I said, a little confusing there. I am raw as it gets. I am not backed by any Disney or any other evil corporation. The only ones that supports me is warriors like y'all. Commercial Fisherman out.